Good morning. Welcome back to Journey Through John. We have just read the rest of John 8. And if you didn't go to the end of the chapter, please do, because it truly does capture the entirety of what's going on. We've continued once again in the midst of conflict and opposition and tension between Jesus and the Pharisees. In verse 12, it says, again, Jesus spoke to them saying, I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will not walk in darkness, but will have the light of life. Once again, Jesus throws out a concept to spur on their thinking, and they choose not to listen or hear, but choose to argue. It makes me think about a few things here. It makes me want to go to James chapter 4, where it says, verse 1, what causes quarrels and what causes fights among you? Is it not this, that your passions are at war within you? And it just makes me think of whenever I'm in a conflict, there are times where I choose to just be difficult. I choose to want to be complicated because I really don't want to resolve the issue. And I believe that's the case here with the Pharisees. They want to be right. They want to stay right, and they don't want to be hearers or receivers of this information. So Jesus continues to plow through and throw out statements like in 8:31, if you abide in my word, you are truly my disciples, and you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. And they answered him, we are the offspring of Abraham and never have been enslaved to anyone. In other words, saying, who do you think we're enslaved to? We are offspring of Abraham, and we're free. We don't need to be free. How is it that you say we will become free? So Jesus repeatedly says throughout these passages, truly, truly, I say to you. He's basically saying, I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you the truth, but you're not hearing it. You're not hearing it. And that is this form of darkness. When we are not willing to hear the truth, we will remain in the darkness. And then he goes further and says, if you don't hear me, you're listening to another voice. You're listening to another voice, and that is the father of lies. And it says, when he lies, he speaks out of his own character, for he is a liar and the father of lies. And so this is this comparison that Jesus is truth. If you don't want to walk in the light, you will walk in the darkness, and you will be listening to the darkness, which comes from the father of lies. And so this is just quite an intense conversation. It goes all the way to the end of the chapter. It ends with, truly, truly, I say to you, before Abraham, I was. So they picked up their stones to throw at him, but Jesus hid himself and went out of the temple. Remember, it says also in here, it still was not Jesus's time to be condemned by the people. And so we sit at the end of chapter 8, still with this tension that's being managed. And it makes me go to Ephesians 6. Verse 10, it says, be strong in the Lord and in the strength of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that you might be able to stand against the devil's schemes. You see, the enemy of this world wants you to live in darkness. Even if you believe in Jesus, you can still live in darkness because of the worries of this world, because of the pressures of this world, because of the season in which we are sitting right now. We could be living in panic. We could live in fear, and that would be living in the darkness that only the enemy wants. But Jesus wants us to walk in the light. So be strong in the Lord and in the strength of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that you might be able to stand against the schemes of the devil. For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood. This conflict between Jesus and the Pharisees is really not a conflict between flesh and blood. It is against rulers, against authorities, against cosmic powers in this present darkness. against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly places. Therefore, take up the whole armor of God, that you might be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand firm. And so that's my charge for you today. Let's be girded up with the armor of God. Let's be girded up with truth and with light and with all that Jesus has for us. Let's not lend an ear to things that are disorder and chaos. Let's lend our ear and lean towards the one who is the answer, who is the light, who is the way, the truth, and the life. And so let's follow him today. We're going to start John 9 tomorrow, and I look forward to having that conversation with you. We are starting spring break. I will continue to post these videos despite not doing the other aspects of my position, but because I want us to remain in the Word during this season, I will continue to post these videos, and you are welcome to follow along or pick up after spring break if you so desire. I hope you have a great day. I am praying for you and praying that you are truly walking in the light today. Take care.